Okay, so now we're ready to put in the durations for each one of our tasks and do a few more things as well, but that's going to be the main thing here. And this is sometimes a hard thing for people to figure out because a lot of the times the actual task that they are trying to figure the duration on, they've never done it before. Or maybe they've done maybe similar things to that task, but not exactly the same thing. So one way of coming up with that number, okay, whether it's days or hours, whatever it happens to be, is just to know that you've done many, many other tasks just like it, and therefore, and those particular tasks took you, so many days or so many hours to do. All right. The other way would be to take an average, a moving average, as we'll call it, between the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, and the most likely scenario of days. In other words, let's just take this first task, for instance, task AA. Let's say that we've done similar ones in the past, and in the worst case scenario, it might have been maybe might have taken 3 days in the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, maybe it took maybe 8 days, and in most cases, that same type of task maybe took about 4 days. All right. So there's a formula that you can use that project managers have been using this one for a long time, and it basically says take your best case scenario number plus your worst case scenario number plus your most likely number, but take that number times 4. And I know that sounds crazy, but basically what it comes down to is that you take the best case scenario number, let's pretend like that's a 2, okay? So the best case scenario plus the worst case scenario, let's just say that's an 8, okay? Plus 4 times the most likely, or the one that happened most often, and let's just say that was 5 days. So you got basically 2 plus 8 plus 20, because it'd be 4 times the 5, all right? So you take 2 plus 8, which is 10, plus 20, because that'd be 4 times the 5. That gives you about 30, and then you divide it by 6, because technically you've got 6 numbers, and that would end up giving you a 5. That would be one way of doing it, all right? And the other way would be to say, hey, I'm very confident we've done exactly the same thing before, and it took this many days or this many hours, and you do that, all right? So again, the formula, so just write this one down. I mean, I want to make sure you have this formula. It's the best case scenario number, and let's pretend like that's a 2. The worst case scenario number, let's say that that's an 8, all right, plus 4 times the most likely, which is somewhere in between. Let's just say that it happens most often this amount of time for that similar type of task. And let's just say that's a 5, all right? So it'd be 2 plus 8 plus 4 times 5. And that ends up giving you about 30. And then you divide it by 6, because there's, in essence, 6 numbers, the 2, the 8, and then 4 of the 5s, all right? And that ends up being a 5. Whatever. I mean, if you find that to be kind of an interesting way to approach it, it does work if you've got the right numbers. It gives you an edge sometimes, all right, over just saying, oh, let's just throw this number in, right? So anyways, we're not going to worry about using that calculation for any of these numbers. We're just going to plug in the numbers as we need to see them here, that we think they'll be. So let's just say for the first 4 tasks there, we're going to do 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, 5 days, and then 2 days again, all right? Now, I typed in the 5 or the 3 or the 2 or whatever. I hit the enter key, it defaults to days. Now, if on the other hand, maybe you want to put in hours instead, Well, let's just go to this one here. Let's say for the BA, let's say that's going to be, let's say 4 hours. So we have to put a 4H in there, okay? And that would be 4 hours. And you can kind of see as we've been doing these how the Gantt bar will extend that many days that you've specified there. Now, on the other hand, after you've put the 4 hours in there, you say, I think that's not going to be 4 hours. I think it's really going to be 5 days, let's say, right? So if you were to type in a 5 and then hit the enter key, it's still going to take it as hours because that's what you last put in there. So what you have to do is you have to go back there, type in the 5, and then put a D for days, and then that'll take 5 days. You could also plug in something like maybe a 1 and a W for a week, and that'll give you 1 week. And as far as it's concerned, basically 1 week is really 5 days, just so you know. So that's how that works. Now, if we go back there and say, okay, I'd rather put in there 3 days, I'm going to type in a 3, hit the letter D, hit the enter key, and that puts the 3 days in there for me. And then I'm going to put 1, we already had 1 for the 1 day, so for that last one there, so that's good. So that's how those work. Now we'll go down a little bit further. And on these, this is going to be for gamma. We're going to put in there 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 1 day, and 4 days. There we go. And then for epsilon, a little bit further down there. Okay, we'll put in there, this will be 3 days, 4 days, 2 days, 3 days, and 2 days again. And now for sigma, that'll be 3 days, 5 days, 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, and 2 days. All right. Almost done. Doesn't take too long here. Now for the beta, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in there, let's say 2 days, 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, and 4 days. For the omega, we'll go ahead and put in there 3 days, 4 days, and 2 days. And then finally for our phase 5 here, for the kappa, we're going to put in there 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, and 2 days. And then for lambda, or lambda, I should say, 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, 2 days, 2 days. And there we go. And that was it. So the other thing I want to do here, and this kind of goes back to what we did on the previous video, I want to put in another type of task after each one of our groups, and this task is called the milestone. And a milestone is a task that has no duration to it. It shows up like a diamond out on your Gantt chart area, and it usually defaults to just putting in the date. So what happens is, when you put that in, let's say we'll put a milestone that marks the end of each of our groups of tasks here. Okay, so each of our sub phases, I should say, right? So the deal would be that we would put a new task at the end of each one of these, right? Make it 0 duration. It'll show up as just a little diamond with a date next to it. And then what's really cool about it is later on when we go and we start setting up relationships between each of these tasks, and the most common relationship would be that when this one gets done, this one starts. So this bar would end up being starting over here. And then when that one ends, this one starts. So it just keeps on going and going. It's almost like it looks like a staircase almost, right? Well, at the very end, when we have the milestone, you're going to see that little black diamond, and you're going to see the date. And if anything, you can look at it and say, oh, that's when that phase is complete on that such and such date that it's showing. So that's why we have it. And there's other reasons for it. Well, throughout the other videos we'll be doing, for the rest of this course, we'll be adding milestones here and there for different things. So you'll see them come about later on as well. But just for a very basic use, this is a great way to do it. So what we do is we would just go to our blank row there. we'll hit the insert key, and we'll just type in something like finished. All right? And then what will happen is, as far as the duration goes, now you'll see how the bar, it's just a one-day bar there, right? We're going to type in 0 for the duration, and we get that, see? All right. So later on, you know, after we get done relating these things, then that's going to get pushed on. It's going to look really good. All right, so we got that one in there. Now we'll do the next one. Let's go to here, hit our insert, type in finish or finished, and I'm going to hit my tab key. That just goes to the right there, kind of like Excel. Put a 0 in there, hit enter. Go to the next one. We'll do insert. It comes up finished already because I've already done that, so I'll just hit my tab, and that'll go over, and then I'll just type in 0 once again. All right. Go to the next one here. We'll do our insert. We'll type in finished, tab it over, 0, enter. Go down to here, insert, FIN, tab it, 0, hit the enter key, insert, finished, 0, enter. We're almost there. Don't get bored. Okay, finished. Oh, something happened there on it. Okay, and put a 0 in there. Next one, insert, tab it over, 0. And then last but not least, finished, 0, enter. There we go. So there's our milestone. And you'll see how we'll use those a little bit later on next video. So that's it. So that's how you get your durations in there and all that. So appreciate you watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.